Welcome to Mafunzo New Curriculum Television, wherever you could be watching me live at this time of the hour. I want to welcome you with all due respect. And today is Mafunzo lesson number 1. This is Social Studies, grade 5, grade 6, grade 5. And I want to take you through a very sensitive area, which is always posing a very big major challenge to many learners. And this is the elements of a map. What are the 5 components of a good map? If you want to remember these components, I've come up with a way of remembering this. You can use this word TFKSC. TFKSC. That is, T stands for title, F stands for frame, K stands for what? Key, while S stands for scale, and then C stands for compass. And then from there now, let me also remind you about our neighbors. Kenya as a country, we have our neighbors. Remember, those countries that surround us as a country, those countries that surround Kenya are called Kenya's neighbors. And these are, to the north, we have Ethiopia. To the east, our neighbor is the Republic of Somalia. To the west, it is Uganda. To the northwest, we have South Sudan. To the south of us, we have Tanzania. And then to the southeast, we have the Indian Ocean. Now, I want us to look at ways in which we maintain good relationship with our neighbors. How does Kenya maintain good relationship with its neighbors? There are several ways of doing this. For example, one way of maintaining this good relationship is by partnering in trade, taking part by way of trading, by way of games and sports, participating in games and sports with our neighbors, and also by way of sending ambassadors to represent us to those countries, and also by way of allowing free movement across our borders, and also by using common language. And of course, in this connection, I'm talking about Kiswahili. And lastly but not least, although it has not kicked off, by way of using common currency. Let me now look at Kenya. Kenya is a country found in East Africa, and the size of Kenya, for the benefit of the learner, is 582,646 kilometers square. And the size of Kenya from west to east is 850 kilometers. And the size of Kenya from north to south is 1025 kilometers square. 1025 kilometers square. In totality, Kenya is made up of 47 counties, whereby the smallest is Mombasa County and the largest is Marsabit. There are so many stories as to which among these two counties is the largest, that is Turkana and Marsabit. But when you look at Marsabit, when you want to know the size of a count, you have to look at the kilometers, number of kilometers it covers. For example, Marsabit covers 76,025,000.95 kilometers square, and the Turkana covers 68,232.9 kilometers square. So you can see the Marsabit is up there with 76,025.95 kilometers, while Turkana is down there. Now, let's go back to Kenya. Kenya is almost divided into two parts by equator. Equator divides Kenya into almost two equal parts. And the northerly point of Kenya is known as Kibish, while the southerly point of Kenya is known as Vanga. Let me now talk about the what the elements of a good map. The elements of a good map we have finished. Now let us look at the elements of weather. The elements of weather, for the benefit of the learner. If you want to remember these ones, you can use these letters: T, W, C, R. T, W, C, R. T stands for what? T stands for T. You can use R, W, C, R. You can use R, W, T, C. R, W, or you can use T, W, C, R. Temperature, wind, cloud cover, and of course, rainfall. The elements of weather are rainfall, wind, temperature, and cloud cover. And then the largest lake in Kenya, many learners have been confusing. They're talking about Lake Victoria, talking about Lake Turkana. Now I want to remove the doubt. The largest lake in Kenya is Lake Turkana. It is also termed as the largest sea within a desert. It is the largest sea within a desert. Lake Victoria, of course, it is shared by 3 countries. So we cannot say they share the part of Lake Victoria, which belongs to Kenya. It is not as large as Lake Turkana. Now let's look at now the climatic regions in Kenya. Kenya is divided into 6 climatic regions. These are: number 1, modified equatorial climate, which covers the coastal area and the areas within Lake Victoria Basin. The other climatic region is modified tropical climate. Then we have tropical or savanna climate. Then we have mountain climate, which covers highlands and high mountains like Mount Kenya, Mount Elgon, and what have you. Then we have desert climate, which covers 2 areas in Kenya. This is Chabi and, of course, Taru deserts. And lastly, we have semi-desert, which is mainly hot and dry. Remember, in modified equatorial climate, the climate is hot and wet. And in mountain climate, the climate is cool and wet. That's why there's a lot of production of milk, dairy animals, and also growing of crops such as coffee, tea, and what have you. And then now let us look at, finally, I want to talk about historic built environments. These historic built environments are very important because, number 1, they bring us foreign money in terms of trades. They remind us about our past, our history. They are also a source of information for the learners, and also these are recreational centers where people can go and relax and connect with other people from other parts of the world. So some of these historic built environment in Kenya might include Fort Jesus, Vasco da Gama Pillar, our museums, our cultural centers like Bomas of Kenya, and of course, don't forget about those other monuments like Tomboya Monument, like Dedan Kimathi, like Jomo Kenyatta, like Nyayo, and what have you. So in the next lesson, I'll give more highlight on various issues.